Junkyard Harpies, right, got it.
Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hanging out with these nerds.
Nerdarchy's Ryan.
I'm Ted.
And today we are going to bring you a terrible terrain.
Well, before we get into that, why don't you head down to the description below, sign up for Nerdarchy, the newsletter. That's a great way to get gaming tips delivered straight to your inbox weekly, as well as learn how to game with us.
So today we got for you the Junkyard. And I was on my way over to shoot some videos with these guys, and I was listening to a program that I quite enjoy, called Car Talk.
Don't roll dice like my brother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the phrases they used was don't let the Junkyard Harpies get you, or get your car, or whatever it was. But I was like, Junkyard Harpies, that's a thing. That should be a thing if it's not a thing. And I'm like, but you know, what's a junkyard look like in day and day? And then I was like, well, in our Chimes of Discordia world, we do have a couple places where a more modern-esque junkyard would make sense. You know, not quite what you would expect for fantasy or medieval times,
but tinkery type of shit, basically.
Yeah. So I was like, well, either the Clockwork Kingdom, which has been shut down forever, so I feel like that one wouldn't be a really great spot. Or outside of Frosthaven, which is our little slice of hell on Earth, which has a lot of like steam-powered type contraptions. And
also too, just like sort of like evil nuisances might live kind of near Frosthaven anyway. So
yeah, it would definitely be attractive to them. And then I was thinking too that like it would definitely be a very disposable society as well, and not very harmonious with the world around it, and full of excesses. So like I could definitely see like a place where things go to die and kind of get cast off. And part of me also thinks about from Robots, the junkyard from there.
I'm not conjuring that very readily, but
Well,
but there's so there's lots of like scraps and
just mounds and piles of junk, and a little bit too of like remember when we played Andrew Knapp's Meat Grinder for Planescape?
Yeah,
like I kind of like envision that as being like the kind of terrain.
That's kind of exactly how I saw it as well when you were describing it to me. And the more we talk about it, the more things that I'm seeing here. I'm seeing a collection of like gnomes, goblins, kobolds who are probably working for or servants of the
harpies,
the harpies, but they not only work, organize, sort, but they live like within the piles itself. They've carved out little homes for themselves. You have to have some kind of like border patrol because it's going to attract rust monsters.
That's true.
And like that's going to be one of the standard things. So like you could have like, oh, you're on rustic duty, and you have kobolds who are just in leather armor with a wooden stick. It's like it's not going to try and eat you because you're not metal, so just stab it until it goes away or until it dies. So like they could have celebrations where they literally hang up these carcasses, or stick them around the border to try and
well maybe like you get a promotion and you get like rust monster hide armor.
Yeah, maybe. So, I mean, do we want it to be gnomes, or could they have just, like, maybe we just pick a race and make that the servitor race?
Yeah, no, it doesn't have to be gnomes.
Goblins.
I like the idea because it's junk of there being an assortment. Like, I don't want it to be just one thing. It doesn't fit the theme, in my opinion.
Like almost like they're cast-offs of their own societies.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
They're the junk, so that they fit at home here. And,
So maybe they can be kind of like a gang?
Well, yeah, I'm kind of picturing that a little bit. Part of me goes, do they become mongrel men? Like,
well, maybe they call themselves like the Scraps or like something like that.
I like that. That works for me. So like what other kind of things, because clearly there's going to have to be something big here, something interesting that would be a significant threat.
Well, the Harpies themselves. I mean, like I almost see like the Harpies. Like,
oh no, Ted's left.
Yeah. No more Ted.
Ted's left the broadcast.
Yeah. He heard the song of the Harpies. Yeah. So it's almost like I see like the Harpies not being standard Harpies.
So that they're not. They'll eat people and things, but they're also reasonable, and there could be so many junkyard traps. They lure people with the song because they have all these things to build contraptions, and with the the gnomes and goblins like building stuff, like you can make some pretty lethal stuff that people just walk into.
So the harpy's only a challenge 1. So I mean we are looking at relatively low level stuff. So
I almost want like a queen, like the junk queen, kind of like ruling over them, which will be not. It doesn't have to be drastically better than the harpies, but or maybe she just wields a lot of political power.
But I mean, I would see, like her entire adornments are all, unsymmetrical and made out of the stuff from
The
here,
junkyard.
and perhaps as a a regular occurrence, somebody the underlings are always trying to make something out of this stuff
To impress her.
to impress her that she likes better, and the best reward that you can get is she wears that instead of what she's been wearing.
So maybe she's got like a scrap plate mail type of thing, like like a mail.
Yeah, maybe. Like I also see like this is a fun place to put like junk golems. And, you could definitely. I would definitely look at maybe broken modrons. Would be fun to put in this place.
Definitely some Warforged can show up too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like both inert and active.
Yeah.
It would be kind of funny as well.
They're trying to figure out how to get them restarted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Hot wire gold.
I just picture goblins with electricity, just shocking the same inert Warforged over and over again.
How many goblins have died trying to get this Warforged started?
So there's
Scratch another one on the board.
So figuring out like the dichotomy within the junkyard itself, like how big it is, and how many different creatures are in there, and maybe there is small groups of goblins, kobolds, and gnomes, like if it's big enough.
Right. Yeah. Again, the more we talk, the more things that you put in there. I see this as definitely it's big enough. It's its own little
Almost like a town.
Yeah. It's more of a town than anything else.
And so I think they also would actively go out like salvaging and scrapping, looking for stuff. Maybe they've like patrols for things to find. I could definitely see them merchanting interesting pieces that they have there. Selling.
Yeah, and working as tinkerers and repair, doing like roadside repair and stuff like that. They have their little tinker wagon, like fixing pots and pans and whatever people will pay them for.
Right.
Yeah.
And they could almost be like immigrant workers where they do everything for really cheap.
Yeah.
But they're always willing to work for trade as well.
What if we make them kind of like a gypsy organization like that? Like make them this sort of like traveling tinker gypsy type of folk, but their hub or their main camp is this junkyard.
And they always come back and they're looking for interesting things to bring back.
Yeah, well, they travel far and wide, wheeling and dealing, coming back, but like they also have that stereotype of like pickpocketing and stealing babies.
Like if you have one of these guys go through your house, make sure they clap their hands the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you don't hear that clapping, you know something's missing. So you could definitely do something like that. I could see them as like going in the Faust Haven, and like part of their contract with them is they actually remove all the debris. Yeah. So like they're the trash men.
They're cleaners.
They work sanitation, for the city.
Oh, so you're definitely gonna have some Otyugs like on the outskirts of their community, too.
Yeah,
trash
it could
monsters.
Be. Yeah, you could always do some of that.
That's what we got as far as
they train. Perhaps they train them as pets.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, like I believe they speak common, and as long as you give them a steady supply of the things that they eat, like they're
pretty happy.
They can be peaceable enough.
They're like a 5 or a 6, I think, Ted.
I think they were like a 2 or a 3. Like they're kind of nasty, but they're still pretty low on the CR.
Yeah, I thought they were around a 3 myself.
Yeah, I think you guys are right.
Yeah, 5 would be.
What do I know? This stupid game.
No, you're right. 5.
Holy hell! All right.
Oh, never mind. F you guys.
F you guys. I'm
like D&D God. Not really.
It's the second time today we've disputed a thing, and you were right.
It happens. I attribute it to my medication induced state of
brilliance.
awareness.
Yeah. So so with these wagons, like I'm trying to imagine, like, what do we have pulling them? Do they just have, like, ponies, or do they have something, like, kind of non-standard, or, you know, like...
I would say it's going to be
Junk
different
ponies.
every time. Like, you could literally have it be, junk golem, ponies, little robotic things that are moving, or you could literally have whatever they're able to, keep fastened to the wagon.
Well, hey,
Maybe it's a combination.
Well, no, like, what if
Giant
it's-
rats.
Well, I was also thinking too, like, they could do stuff with wheels and pedals, like, basically,
Yeah.
think of Labyrinth when they had, like, the cleaners,
Yeah.
the thing that, like, the two goblins, like, went
Right.
back and forth on.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, you could have a thing where, like, basically it's like giant
bicycle.
giant pedal wheels type of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. So that could be a thing where, like, they're basically like big wheeled bikes type of things, or
Yeah, we could do something with that. I definitely feel like it. So we have a basis. Like, I think if we keep going with this video, we're just going to ramble now. But, so we'll end it here. We'll let it percolate a little bit. We'll think about it, add some of it to our games. We'd love to hear what you guys think, your suggestions. How would you go about it? Is it a great idea? Does it suck? We have a place for that. It's called the comments. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
check us out over on Instagram.
Or you can follow us on Twitter at Nerdarchy.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.